Oh, for God's sake. No, it was a wave. It was a wave. Oh, hey guys, how do everybody? Hope you're all doing well. Back out again. Finally got some sand under my feet. I've come to meet Shane and Gaz up at Hornsea, Southend. So it's just past the, I think it's the RNLI station, just off there to my left. It's been a hell of a start to a session. I've cast 3 times. I've been set up, kind of set up, for about 20 minutes. Cast 3 times, I've had 3 fish. A whiting, which I didn't film, and 2 haddock, which I think should be on film. Apologies if the audio's a bit, you know, huffing and fat lad huffing and puffing. Oh God, here we go again. I am absolutely jiggered. There we go, number 3. And once again, it's a haddock. Now, I know I showed you in last week's video, but I'll show you again. See the very pronounced triangular dorsal fin, the thumbprint, and the smaller mouth than a whiting. Other than that, a very similar fish, but very different eating experience. This one is 30 centimetres dead on. Let's get it back. Gotta be a first for everything. And I think in the 2-3 years I've been filming, that's the first time there's going to be a fish in the intro. I'm buggered already. Hornsea, Gaz, Shane, fish, like, share, subscribe. I ain't even had a chance to put my rod on my reel on my second rod yet. Oh man, I'm knackered. Right, I need to tighten this line. It has been absolutely non-stop, and I think we're back on again. Yeah, there we go. Now, there is a lot of wind noise, so, you know, bites are a little harder to discern between the wind and the waves. Shan't be doing a whole lot of ambient filming today because it's far too, even for my mic with the windshield on, I think it's going to be far too windy for that, so I mean, we'll see. We might, if the wind drops off, we'll see. But I think all you'll be able to hear is the waves crashing anyway. Not actually done a sound test since I started recording. Move that away from my throat a little bit. Hopefully you won't be hearing me sound like Darth Vader so much. This asthma's absolutely doing me in. Oh, finally have a bit of a sit down. And a cup of tea, I think. You guys still able to see the rod tips? Yeah. I got a feeling there might be a fish on that. But I think it's going to stay there for a bit. And then on the ebb, I'm going to wait till the tide's turned and we'll look at getting the second rod out, I think. High tide's at 2 o'clock. It is now 12:30. Oh, we've gone slack. Really slack. See if it tightens itself back up. I can't be getting up and down. That'll do me in more than I already am. Yeah, there we go. It's tightened back up a bit. I've got a feeling we're going to get pushed off the beach though. Well, only a bit swell that'll push us off, but when a big un comes, it's a big un. Come on, guys. Cup of tea. Let's have a quick word with. So I went to see Scott, picked up one of these lovely hoodies from him. I gotta say, they're not overly thick, it'd be bang on for summer, but what it is for somebody big and round like me is it's lovely and long, and that's hard come by. And they're a fair price, and they're embroidered, they're not printed, which is awesome. And then I've for the first time, I think ever, yeah, for the first time ever, I'm fishing with somebody else's rigs. I think, pretty sure, I'm fishing with a bought rig. I'm fishing with a rig from Mike's Rigs. You'll find him on Facebook. I'll try and link his page down below. I'm fishing with Mike's Rigs. I'm fishing with his 2-hook flapper with 2 OJ hooks on it. The plan for me was a 3-hook flapper. Sorry, a 3-hook, not a 2-hook if I said 2-hook. The plan for me was a 3-hook flapper in close-ish, and then a pennel rig at range. I hadn't had a chance to set up the pennel rig yet. I hadn't even got the reel on. I could do it now, I suppose, but with how rough the sea is, etc, etc, I'm going to wait for the big rig until the ebb. I think the fishing seems to have calmed a little bit, because from the moment getting a rod in the water, the tip just never stopped. I wasn't even able to watch the tip because I was trying to get set up, and every time I looked up, it's bang, 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 bang. Didn't have the camera out, didn't have anything set up. Single rig. But I gotta say, this is the first time I've fished with the Evolution rod on a beach. I got a 6-ounce lead on it and a 3-hook flapper, and I'm not doing any sort of fancy casting. I'm putting a little bit of power in it today, I'm not going to deny. And for them that know Hornsea, we're about 10 feet, 20 feet maybe, split the difference, 15 feet from us backs to the wall. And the sea is, probably the same in front of me. And I'm definitely getting past the end of the groin. Without a doubt, I'm getting past the end of the groin. We've maybe half power, because I'm still using a finger stall that I stole off Gordon that's not very thick, and I'm still fishing with the braid. I thought I was going to struggle to fish with the braid today, because I thought it'd lift the leads out. With the sea being kind of high, I thought it'd lift the leads out, but it's not doing too bad. It's holding fairly well. The hooks, I gotta say, I mean, am I fishing with Mike's Rigs because he's asked me to? No. Have I wanted to try his rigs for some time? Yeah. And today it just worked out. My box is an absolute dumping ground. Because today was sort of impromptu, in the fact that I organised it sort of Tuesday, Wednesday. It's now Saturday, but I can't get in my shed. You know, I've seen it come up on Facebook a few times, and we were discussing it in a group chat. When it gets to Christmas, you can't have all that's in fridge, because that's for Christmas. And Christmas just takes over the bottom of your wardrobes, takes over shed, it takes over all your spaces, all your little nooks and crannies, all your little workspaces. Especially if, like me, you decide to try and decorate in a couple of weeks leading up to Christmas as well. In between everything else, work, dog, family, fishing, Christmas. So especially if you're like me. So I couldn't get in my shed to sort my box out. And with us being in the middle of Storm Pier, is it called? I don't know. The storm. I couldn't do it in the back garden, because you could barely stand in my back garden up until this morning. So I couldn't do that. So, yeah, my box is an absolute pigsty. All my gear needs a wash, which is going to happen in the next couple of days. Wow, that's gone really slack. Yeah, I'm going to have to tighten that. Give me a sec. We'll check it anyway and put some fresh worm on. The worm that's on has caught me 2 fish. Nah, there's nothing on that. Oh, I don't know actually, there might be. Unless I'm dragging lead over a sandbar. I do know there is a sandbar out there, which is what I'm trying to get over. And I think I might be accomplishing that. Oh, hang on. Well, we've just broken the surface. There's definitely something on there, whether it's weed or a fish, I don't know at this moment in time. It's another haddock. I'm going to stop rubbing it in with Shane and Gaz now. Or is this just a whitey? This might just be a white. No, it's a haddock. Ow! Yeah, it's, oh no, it might be. No, it is a haddock. Yeah, it is a haddock. The thumbprint's a bit faint on it, but it's there. Small mouth. Let's get it sized and back. It's another. Let's be. I'm going to say 28, 29 on that one. Get baiting up and back out. I would say this rig from Mike though, sorry, that's what I was talking about. Hooks razor sharp. He leaves his tag lengths on the hook length very long, a lot longer than I've ever thought to do. Makes sense, because then your tag end is actually acting also like a bit of a bait stop. But he has used a stop knot and well, that didn't work, did it? He's used a stop knot and a sequin also as a bait stop. And so far I haven't even got to the live worm. I'm using the ones that are blown that Scott re-wraps and sells as wraps. Hooks are razor sharp. Don't know, you know, whether it's what brand it is or how long they'll stay sharp for. Which reminds me, I need to at some point invest in a hook sharpener. The worms in that bucket will be, what's going on up there? One thing I am doing today is I'm coming out at sort of halfway up the worm, or halfway down the worm. I'm coming out the side of the worm, and so far it's given me a hook up every time, even when I haven't seen the bite, like on that haddock. Although that one that I've just brought in was the only bite I've not seen. There we go. I don't know if the cast will show up, but we'll keep you rolling. Because I'm using braid, I'm casting well off to the left. Make sure that I'm not catching anybody else's mono. Let it settle for a minute. I'm going to go and see Shane, so I'll speak to you all in a bit. Fish number 2 of the session. Fish number 2 of the session. I'm not even set up, and it's a Harry haddock, and it's a fair size as well. Is it illegal? Let's have a look. Come on, calm down. Oh, it is. I think. Come on, calm down. I need to get a measure on you. 35 centimetres. 35 centimetre haddock. I haven't even had a chance to get set up yet. I'll swatch you in a sec. I'll leave the camera rolling this time. Might be a single rod kind of day if it's going to be like that. Oh dear me. And we're off again. It's another Harry. Not quite as big as the last. Legal just, but this one will go back. Another 30 centimetre Harry. Another 30 centimetre Harry. Let's get it back. Hey? Is that having a go? Yeah. Get the big baits out once the tide's turned. Yeah, that's on. I was just over talking to Shane and I could see my rod gave a couple of knocks and that line went slack, so we'll have a look. No, I don't think there's anything on that this time. It was just the lead travelling, I think. There's definitely a sandbar in front of me though. Oh no, maybe. Yeah, there's another one on there. What we got this time? We've got a ting. Nice size again. The whiting this year. That's where I'm fishing. That's where I'm aiming for. There we go, really nice size whiting. Let's get a size on that actually, since it's quite calm. 35. Oh. Oh, calm down dear. 35, we'll get that back. Calm down. You're going home now. I'm gonna get wet, I'm gonna get wet returning a whiting. Whoa. Right, I've got some blacks in here somewhere. We'll finish them up first. At least I thought I did. I might have actually used them. No, I've used them. That's okay then. Yeah, at this rate I'm going to run out of bait. We'll go with a yellow up there. Let's see what we've got in my box. A bit of squid. use these muscles up since they've been at it freezer 3 or 4 times. Elastic. We'll go with one just straight squid and one squid and mussel, I suppose. Not going to be too fat for that hook. Probably is, but yeah, we'll see. Oh dear, that was a big wave. That's a very big wave. These are making me a bit nervous, I'm not going to lie. What? Can't see it. What is it, a crab? And baits are a bit big for these hooks, but it's mussel. It kind of squishes quite a lot, so we're just going to go for it, I think. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to move. Get this sent out and we'll get moved. So yeah, right. At the moment, long story short, I'm going to run out of fresh bait. I suppose that's the only problem with fishing with a 3-hook rig. It does mean that you rattle through bait at a fair rate of knots. But hey, if it turns out to be a short session, it's been a good one. Those haddock are giving cracking bites. And the whiting that are out there are a fair size. So hopefully, I'm not going to get pushed too far back now. Yeah, it is a small concern. I don't actually know what time high tide is. I'm guessing around 2, but I'm not sure. I know it's not far away now. I'll turn you back on when something's occurring. I'll speak to you in a bit. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Oh, is it? Or is it the waves? That's the waves. I'll see you in a bit. Tide now, about 20 minutes away from top at tide. I've just missed a cracking bite, but I'm out with 2 rods now. So I've got a Pennell rig out. It's another one of Mike's with a 4.0 and a 3.0 behind it. I just sent that out with a single yellowtail on. It was out about 5 minutes. Massive bite on it, but I missed it. I was rebaiting the other rod and missed it. I'm trying to keep... I've just rebaited the Evolution and the Icon. And I'm trying to tame that Evolution. I'm trying to keep it in close. I mean, I can't keep it in too close because we've got to get over the rollers. Otherwise, holding bottom's just not going to happen. But I tried to keep it in, shall we say, about 40 yards closer than it landed. Really struggled to keep it in close. But yeah, I missed a cracking bite, absolutely cracking bite. I'm going to have a cup of tea and I'll leave you on the rods for a little bit. We'll see what develops. A little bit worried that it's still going to get wet. So 20 minutes left in the tide. The hope was that the wind would hold back the tide a little bit, and it ain't. Although I think the wind has turned a little bit. It was forecast to be straight off as backs. Although looking at the clouds, yeah, it kind of is. So there must be something's whipping it up. Anyway, I put you on the rod tips. I think something's just had a nosy at the pulley pennel. It was either a wave, but it went dunk dunk dunk. So I'll turn you around. So as you're looking at them, this tripod, man. It's just tripods in general. Right, so as you're looking at them, the right hand side rod, so the furthest rod, is the Icon, and that's got a pulley pennel and a single yellowtail on it. The closest rod is the Evolution, and that's got squid and mussel on it ×2 and a single worm, because I haven't got that many worms. Oh, look, dead promising for Gaz then. Although I think he's having more fish than Shane, so that's a good thing. Sorry, Shane. But yeah, it's getting, the sea's starting to raise up a little bit. I don't know what it's going to do on the ebb. If it raises up too much more, I might have to call it quits just after dark. I did want to fish a bit more of the ebb, but I just don't know if I'm going to be able to. Cup of tea. That's what I was doing. Oh, it's gone slack again. You know what? It's just going to have to stay slack and hope the tide takes it back out. Oh, that's the distance rig, actually. I might want to have a look at that. That's the pulley pennel. Give it a minute, see if it tightens up. I probably should have switched over to mono about half an hour ago, but I didn't. Oh, is Shane in? Shane's in with a dablet. Little dirty dab. That's what I wanted to fish close in for. I haven't had many flatties this year. I don't know if there's a chance of turbo at this time of year, but that'd be nice. This one could get me. Oh no. I'm going to have to tighten the lines again. I'm finishing my cup of tea first though. An early finish isn't a bad thing. Means I get some tea, get home, do some prep for Crimbo. A little bit of wrapping left to do, although the missus does all the wrapping. I can't wrap a box at all. I couldn't wrap a square box. I've always been weak. I've always been crap at wrapping. There were times in my life where I was a bit more affluent and I used to pay somebody to do it. Those times are long gone. But to say we 2 days, 3 days away from Christmas, I don't even know what date it is today. Oh shit. Oh shit. Pardon my French. Oh no, it's alright. We're 23rd of December today, so 2 days away from Crimbo, and we're walking up and down the beach going, oh, it's lovely today, it's lovely and warm. Right, now I've finished that cup of tea. Let's just tighten these lines up again. Oh, that wasn't too bad. They're not as loose as they look, actually. I'll leave you on your rods, on the rods. I'm going to go see Shane and Gaz. Oh, do you know, I think I've picked myself straight up there. Pretty sure I've picked myself straight up. I hope not, but I think I have. I don't have a lump of weed on it. Oh no. Size 4 hooks and I get a little dab. Size 4 bloody hooks. 4 O's. And I get a little bloody dab. Oh no, flounder. Yeah, flounder. There we go. Size 4 hook, giant bloody yellowtail, and I get a dab. Well, I suppose that's at least 3 species. That's a good thing, I suppose. Not the 3 I was wanting, but hey, I'll take it. Oh, that pinged. Oh, that pinged my finger. Oh, definitely need to order some better finger stalls. Well, that's how it goes sometimes, isn't it? A 5-0, 4-0 size hooks. I get myself a dab at distance. Come righty, could you? Start at session. 4 haddock, 2 whiting in as many casts. Yes, oh, well done. Four white, yeah, in as many casts, and it drops quiet. we're heading up to sort of the top of the tide, if we're not already there actually. What time is it? Oh no, we're past the top of the tide. Yeah, so we're at the top of the tide. Oh, we just passed it by about 20 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to go over to my original plan, which is to fish through the remainder of the worm, which won't take long. And call it a day, get myself a chippy supper and tootle off home. By no means we're not at the end of the session, I'm not finished yet, but that's going to be my plan. The missus will be happier if I get home a bit earlier. I can get a bit more done. God, these rods are bouncing like mad now. The sea's really, now it's turned. There's some real big risers on there now. But I mean, 5, 6, 7s leads have held pretty much all session to say how wild the sea is. Yeah, so far, good session. Nice and warm, not cold. Hopefully nothing spoils it. I'll talk to you in a bit. The fish in the margins. I said I was going to fish in the margins for a little flatty. They're just getting smaller. But another little flounder. We'll get it put back. Oh, sound, that's what I was checking. Right, okay. Microphones are nearly dead as well. Well, yeah, there was another little, I keep saying dab. It's not, they've both been flounders. Another little flounder. I stuck it close in, I knew what to expect, but I thought I'd find something a little bit bigger than that one. But hey, even little fishies got to eat, haven't they? Oh. I think that might have been a wave. There's nothing really interesting to show you today now. I'm literally just fishing through my bait. Yeah, I'm just finishing off the worm. I've got about 10, well, yeah, I've got about 2, 3 more casts on each rod left, and I'll be out of bait. But it's been a really cool session, really cool. It's been a long time since I've had a session where I've just hit the fish like that. Long time. And I've certainly never had a wintertime session like that I can recall. The only problem I'm having, and like I say, it's to be expected, is fishing with the braid in these conditions. The lead's just popping constantly. But between the wind and the sea now, it's getting really difficult to see bites. Yeah, that's one. It's on the 3-hook flapper. There's 3 hooks to pick from. We'll leave it out there for a little bit. In fact, I'll put you on the rods instead of sitting watching me sup a cup of tea. Phone's going mad again. Yeah, there it goes. There goes one of them. Oh, that's true. That might have been a wave. I think as sun sets, I think it's going to become increasingly difficult to fish anyway, so I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm running out of bait. I know Shane and Gaz, they only planned on fishing to darkness anyway. Come on, Gaz, show us an haddock. Bless you. Yeah, one of the most challenging things about fishing today, yeah, he's got himself a little dab. Wouldn't surprise me if these haddock that we're catching have got all the signs and traits of a haddock, but are some new hybrid between whiting and something else. I don't know. I think somebody somewhere must be thinking, or must be looking at, why all of a sudden we're catching haddock from the shore. Because everyone I've spoken to that's, that's fished a lot longer than I, can't recall them being caught in large numbers from the shore like they are being this year. Yeah, that's got something on it, that. I'll tell you what, let's have a look. We can always resend it. Well, if there is something on there, it ain't big. Oh, hang on, I've picked up the wrong one. Fucking idiots. I meant to pick up the other rod. I wanted the 3-hook flapper rod. This has got the pulley pennel on it. Tell you what, if this has got a little flatty on it, I'm packing down. Because the range it's at, I shouldn't be finding them. But it does feel like it's just a lead dragging across the sand. Oh shit, that's a big wave. Well, if there was something on it, it's probably come off now. Nah, I missed it. I'm going to pack this one down, to be honest. I'll check the other one. Pack this one down. This is the one I meant to pick up. Nah, there's nothing on this. Or if there is, it ain't big. I've missed something on it, that's for sure. Right, don't you even think about it. Let's get you out of the way. I've missed some on there, possibly on all three of these hooks. I have to get a needle, I'm not baiting these up right well. But yeah, I think I'm going to drop back down to one rod. There, a lot happier with how they're presented. Not that that'll matter once I bang it out to sea like, but you know, make effort when we can, eh? I'll have a bit of a tidy up in my box. Gonna get wet. Oh man. I fluffed that cast That really hurt the old finger, that one did. Right, yeah, I'm a bit of a tidy up in the box. You watch the rods for me. No, I'm only kidding. I'll turn you off, I'll speak to you in a bit. Right guys, I'm down to about 2 casts worth of worms, and I'm also down to about 10% battery on my microphones. Hopefully we've got some sound today, because I've never actually sound checked. It'd be a shame to have this good session and not have any sound, wouldn't it? But that's just me being a moron. Yeah, listen, my microphone's almost out of charge, and I've dropped to 1 rod. So I'm just fishing out the rest of my bait. So I'm going to call it there for the filming, guys. I'm going to start packing the camera down, tidying up, getting ready to call it an early day, just because it's fished so well. I've run out of bait. Thanks to Mike's rigs, you know. I need to have a look at his rigs, because there's clearly something very different that he's doing that I'm not doing. Although, I mean, yeah, 1 session doesn't really make a comparison, but yeah, do check him out. The hooks are razor sharp. I'm not too sure whose hooks are on these. The knots are brilliant, the crimps are lovely. It's just grade A, absolutely grade A quality rigs, and that's coming from somebody, myself, who takes a lot of pride in my knots, takes a lot of pride in my crimping, the lines that I use and the components that I use. I can't fault these rigs at all. They are brilliant. The pulley rigs using Gemini, or at least the pulley rigs that I've got are using Gemini. I think if you contact him direct, because I bought these from the shop, I think if you contact Mike direct, you can actually get them pretty much custom made with different terminal tackle on them. You can pick your hooks, pick your hook sizes, I think. But I will try and remember to put a link to his Facebook page in the video description, so down below. Do go check him out if you do buy rigs. I can't fault them at all. At all. Really nice. I know a couple of times I've tried to venture into the selling rigs. The fact of the matter is, I'm too lazy. I don't advertise it, I don't sell it, I don't push it. To be honest, half the time I can't be bothered to tie them. It very well may go down the route, once I've gone through the terminal tackle that I've used, that I start buying rigs. I mean, I'm tight, I'm a Yorkshireman, I'm going to use what I've got. But I think, to be perfectly honest, for the amount of time it takes me to tie rigs and the amount of motivation I need to give myself to actually get off my ass and tie them, and the amount of time I've got these days, I think I'm going to have to go over to buying them. I know how to tie them myself, I'm perfectly capable of tying them myself. But yeah, I can't argue, I can't fault the quality, I can't fault the results. I mean, wow. I've had fish on, I've used 2 of his rigs, and I've had fish on them both. You can't say better than that, can you? Anyway, I'm going to stop gushing about Mike and his rigs. Stay safe, tight lines, and I'll see you later.